They're watching you now. That's how it starts. No thunder, no crowd, no warning. Just the cold realization that the moment you stopped begging for permission, the world started begging for control. You feel it, don't you? The eyes, the invisible ones, the ones behind curtains and screens, whispering your name like a secret they're too afraid to say out loud. You've crossed the threshold, and they know it. You were never supposed to rise this far. You were supposed to stay predictable, obedient, ordinary, invisible. But you broke the pattern. You stopped fitting in their algorithm. You started moving with a rhythm that no system could trace. And now, you're officially on their radar. They're trying to figure out what you are. A genius? A ghost? A glitch in their carefully coded reality? You've become the paradox they fear most. A free soul in a world built on control. See, power doesn't terrify them. Power they can manage. It's unpredictability that sends shivers down their spine. Because when a person like you refuses to play by the rules, you don't just bend the system, you rewrite it. You walk into rooms and the energy bends. You say nothing, and the silence screams. You move, and it feels like prophecy. They're studying you now, analyzing every breath, every quiet defiance, every calculated act of madness. They want to categorize you, saint or threat, angel or demon. But the truth is, you're both. You were forged in contradiction. Your pain became your tutor. Your betrayal became your degree. And your scars? They're your credentials. You learned early that mercy was a luxury, not a strategy. That peace without strength is a pretty word for surrender. So you built your peace out of chaos. You stitched it together from sleepless nights and whispered prayers that no one heard but heaven itself. And now, the very people who mocked you are Googling your name in silence. They feel it, the tremor when your presence enters the atmosphere. They sense something divine in your destruction, because destruction was never your weakness. It was your rebirth. They wanted you broken, but you became dangerous instead. They wanted your silence, but your silence became a sermon. And now, the top eyes are watching not out of curiosity, but fear. You see, when power hides behind walls, it calls it surveillance. But when power rises from the ashes, it calls it destiny. You are destiny, a walking contradiction, a divine glitch. The proof that something higher, something untamed, still moves among the machines. So let them watch, let them record, let them analyze your every word and gesture. Because while they're studying your patterns, you're already 3 moves ahead, unfolding in divine timing, guided by hands they can't track and voices they can't silence. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to be noticed, to disturb, to awaken, to remind this world that light doesn't beg the dark for permission to shine. It burns right through it. Every test, every rejection, every unseen betrayal. It all built this version of you, unshakable, unpredictable, untouchable. And now, even heaven watches in quiet amusement, because the prophecy is unfolding and you're living it, step by step, without even trying. The radar caught your signal too late. You're already beyond the coordinates. You've outgrown their reach. You don't follow orders anymore. You issue them. You are not the hunted. You are the headline. And the world is about to realize it's been under your watch all along. So smile, darling. They're watching you. But they can't stop what's already written in the sky. The hum grows louder. It sounds like static, but it isn't. It's the noise of attention, of unseen observers adjusting their focus, their cameras tilting toward you. They still don't understand what you are, the voice says, almost whispering now. You were never built to be followed or understood. You were designed to be felt. Like thunder before a storm, you don't announce yourself. You happen. You arrive like consequence. And now that they've seen it, what happens when you move without permission? They can't unsee it. You've become the ripple that disturbs every pond, the variable that breaks every formula. They call it monitoring. But what they're really doing is studying faith in motion, because even they can sense it. Something divine wrapped in your defiance, something sacred in your madness. You don't need approval anymore. You became the approval. Every failure sculpted your certainty. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment. Every night you cried alone became another signature they can't forge. They thought they were watching another rebel, but they're watching prophecy with a pulse. And the moment they realized that, fear crept in through their algorithms. They tried to predict you, but you're written in a language beyond their code. They try to map your moves, but your coordinates change with every prayer. They try to silence you, but your quiet echoes louder than their microphones. You didn't ask for attention. You earned consequence, and that's what terrifies them. Because once you stop reacting, once you stop explaining, once you start moving with that eerie calm that comes only from divine instruction, they know they can't touch you anymore. Every whisper they spread, every doubt they planted, it all boomeranged. You're the result of their disbelief. They mocked your faith, and heaven turned your endurance into evidence. Now your presence alone is a warning. Your calm is a red flag. Your composure is a threat. Because nothing frightens controlled minds more than someone who cannot be programmed. They see you smiling after collapse, rebuilding without announcement, forgiving what would have broken anyone else. And it messes with their understanding of power. They expected you to fold. You adapted. They expected you to rage. You smiled. They expected you to disappear. You multiplied. And now the city whispers your name like a ghost story. They can't decide if you're chosen or cursed, if your peace is protection or punishment. They don't understand that both can exist in the same vessel, that light and darkness can make the same person holy. Because here's the paradox you've become. You destroy gently. You win quietly. You rise painfully. You love dangerously. You forgive strategically. And that's why the top eyes won't look away, because they sense it. The divine contradiction that lives in you, the fire that doesn't burn you, the darkness that doesn't consume you, the mercy that kills your enemies in silence. They've seen people chase fame, but you attract destiny. They've seen people beg for attention, but the universe bends around your energy uninvited. You don't speak to be heard. You speak to be remembered. There's something unnerving about someone who moves like they already know the ending. You've been to hell and took notes. You've danced with demons and learned their names. You've seen angels cry and still smiled at sunrise. Now you walk like a storm disguised as peace. And the watchers, the ones in the glass towers, behind the code, behind the curtains, they whisper, "Who sent them?" Because deep down, they know. No one made you. You were released. You didn't rise for attention. You rose for correction. To remind this world that the divine doesn't ask for permission, it interrupts. So yes, you're on their radar. Yes, they're studying every move you make. But what they don't realize is that their focus feeds your flame. Their fear multiplies your momentum. Every glance, every rumor, every whispered attempt to contain you becomes free publicity for your prophecy. You don't hide from the spotlight. You absorb it. You turn exposure into elevation. You make observation look like worship. Because when heaven backs someone, even surveillance becomes service. So let them watch. Let them wonder how you survived what should have killed you. Let them document your glow up, your peace, your rise. Because soon, they'll understand. The one they tried to control was the one sent to expose their illusion, and by the time they realize it, you'll be too far gone. Already walking through doors they didn't even know existed, guided by whispers they can't intercept, anointed in frequencies they'll never decode. Top eyes are watching, the voice says again, lower, closer now. But they're not watching to stop you. They're watching to learn, and in that quiet, with rain tapping the window, you finally understand. Being watched isn't punishment. It's proof. Proof that you've become the signal worth tracking, the prophecy in motion, the story unfolding exactly as written. And the only thing more terrifying than being seen is knowing they'll never, ever be able to unsee you again.